On October 25, 1984, around 11 p.m., Gunther Stoll and his wife were sitting at home on chairs. Suddenly, Gunther jumped up from his chair and shouted in German, "Now I understand." He quickly grabbed a piece of paper, scribbled the word Jagdsee, and immediately crossed it out. Without saying anything, he left the house, got into his car, and drove away. His wife was worried about him. He had been paranoid for some time and kept telling her, "They are after me. They want to hurt me." After leaving home, Gunther drove to a pub in Wilnsdorf. He ordered a beer, but before he could even take a sip, he suddenly collapsed and injured his face. Witnesses say he wasn't drunk or acting strange. He just blacked out, seemingly for no reason. After leaving the pub, Gunther disappeared for about 2 hours. No one knows where he went or what he did. Around 1 a.m. on October 26th, he showed up in a small village called Heigerseelbach, a district in the German state of North Rhine-Westphalia. There, he spoke to a woman he had known since childhood. He told her that something terrible was going to happen that night. She urged him to go stay with his parents, but Gunther replied they wouldn't understand. Then, he left again. At around 3 a.m., 2 truck drivers were driving along the A45 highway near the Hagen Süd exit. They spotted a crashed Volkswagen on the side of the road. As they approached, they saw a man in a white coat stumbling away from the car, badly injured. When they checked the vehicle, they found Gunther Stoll, naked, severely wounded, but still alive. They immediately called an ambulance. Gunther, clearly frightened, kept repeating, "There were 4 men in the car with me." Then they ran away. He was taken to the hospital, but due to the severity of his internal injuries, Gunther Stoll died a short while later. Later investigations revealed something even more disturbing. Gunther had already sustained his injuries before the crash, meaning he had been attacked elsewhere. And then, somehow, he had made it into the passenger seat of his own car. Forensics confirmed that the crash itself had happened at the location where the car was found. But strangely, no DNA evidence was found at the scene, except Gunther's. Now, remember that mysterious note? The one with the strange letters YOGTZE that Gunther had written and then scratched out? His wife said she threw it away that night. But 6 months later, she finally told the police about it. Police had already found a similar piece of paper inside Gunther's car at the crime scene, with the word Jagdsee, or possibly YO6TZ, written on it. Due to the messy handwriting and different interpretations, the exact letters were unclear, and the mystery doesn't end there. No one knows why Gunther was naked either. There was no logical explanation or evidence to clarify this strange detail. But there are many different theories about this case, and we will mention 5 of the best ones, and see how the last theory about this case shows that the evidence was against the police and detectives, and that the story of this case was not at all what we thought. Some believe that Gunther was involved in espionage and intelligence services, and that perhaps the word Jagdsee was a code for solving cases that should not have been revealed. And in the end, the "they" that Gunther always talked about came to silence him. Others interpret the phrase Jagdsee as 3 different words. Yo stands for yogurt. Considering that Gunther used to work in a food manufacturing plant, GTZ is a military code that some people tried to decipher but failed. YO6 could be the address of a Romanian radio station. Some say that Gunther knew about an information corruption in the food manufacturing company where he worked, and this cryptic phrase could have been a code, or a mass death order using spoiled or poisoned food. So, the people in the know tried to silence him before it was too late. There were 4 men. Gunther's car was found on a dark road. He was injured and in his car. Maybe for reasons like carrying drugs or weapons, Gunther got into a fight with some strangers and they injured him. And since they saw that he was bleeding, they decided to transfer him to his car and create a fake crime scene to cover their tracks. But if this theory is true, then the lack of additional DNA and the cryptic word Yogdze have no place in this case. The last theory is very simple, but it is this theory that led to the legal closure of this case. Of course, I must say that the law turned a blind eye to a lot of evidence. Despite all the evidence that was said, some also say that Gunther had a mental problem, so it is natural that he would say strange words and things. The fact that he died with many injuries was also due to a very simple accident. But as mentioned, all of these are just theories, and their accuracy was never confirmed. But if that's the case, why was he naked? Who was the man in the white coat? Why was Yogdze found at 2 separate locations? In April 2025, the Hagen Police Department officially closed the case. After reinvestigating, they concluded that Gunther's death was the result of a single car accident, and there was no evidence of foul play. His injuries were consistent with the crash, and since no other DNA was found in the vehicle, they had no reason to pursue it further. Although the case is now closed, the mysteries surrounding it, especially the meaning of Yogdze, continue to fascinate true crime enthusiasts around the world. What is more interesting is that many people will have their own theories after watching this video and understanding the story. Theories that are heard for the first time. If you also have an interesting theory, be sure to write it in the comments so that we can review and analyze your best theories in another video in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video and share your thoughts about the case in the comments. We'd love to hear your theories. And don't forget to subscribe so you can join us as we unravel even more bizarre and mysterious criminal cases.